Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. This month is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds month, and I'm doing daily reviews until the release of their new album, Wild God. And today is the second video and their second album. It is time to talk about The Firstborn is Dead. Now, I've always found that a haunting, dangerous title. It has even grown to be more haunting and dangerous with the recent happenings in Nick Cave's family. Um, it's it's a grim title. Yet when he recorded this album, he of course could not refer to his own situation. He referred to the twin brother of Elvis Presley, because Elvis Presley had a twin brother who I believe died during birth, something like that. The opening track, Tupelo, also refers to Elvis Presley. And that's the beauty of the record I'm holding here. It goes into the narratives Nick Cave wants to tell. And that is the first thing that is remarkable on this record. Nick Cave is beyond everything a storyteller. And he's dead serious about his stories. And he shapes a landscape. He shapes an America while living in the UK, coming from Australia, and recording this in Berlin, in the Hansa studios, where David Bowie also famously recorded Heroes, and I believe even more, the entire, not the entire Berlin trilogy, but the basis for the Berlin trilogy. Yet he is telling tales of America as if he was there, as if he's one of those troubadours who heard the gruesome tales. And that's the remarkable thing about this album. It's different from Her to Eternity. It really is different. That is a avant-garde chaos album. It's post-punk with a real deep um, punky attitude. They are trying to create chaos. They are trying to create discomfort. Here, Nick Cave becomes more and more like an old country and blues legend. Yet it doesn't refer country or blues in a classical sense. It's as if he reinvented both genres to take you into an America that only lives in the mind of Nick Cave. And in a certain retelling of history, for example, if you take a look at the back of this gorgeous album, let's be frank, it says about the opening track. The opening track, Tupelo, is loosely based on John Lee Hooker's classic Talking Blues of the same name, which recalls a great flood that befell a small community near his hometown. And of course, Tupelo is also the birthplace of one of Cave's new confessed heroes, Elvis Aaron Presley, where his interest has previously been focused on the final days of Presley's charismatic life. In this song, he creates a legend based on the king's birth, blended with Old Testament mythology. Presley's birth. The firstborn is dead. The mystical elements here. Also, musically, you can hear that he has been inspired by. There's a lot of blues elements going on. For example, I listened to a first French pressing, which sounded surprisingly good. I mean, I'm not usually a fan of French pressings, but it contains all the haunting elements, and I'm not sure what stampers they use, but I won't get into that. Side 2 is massively knocking on Joe. Is like a blues epic. He is not the kind of guy. He's not the kind of white guy trying to be tough and tell you stories of John Lee Hooker, or play you covers of John Lee Hooker, or trying to befriend the Black Roots. He is drenched in dark stories, as if he has a dark soul himself and understands these well, these cowboys, these crooks in these stories better than anyone else, and Nick Cave is gonna give you a new insight. I was listening to an interview with him, and he talked about the first time he saw Johnny Cash on television, and then he realized that music was not just there for the people who told beautiful stories. He said, "I saw somebody who was exposing his dark inner side," and you can feel that it's blues on one end and dark country outlaw country on the other hand. That's starting to shape his stories. And these stories, these songs are, though dangerous lyrics from time to time, they are very nice, comfortable musically. I mean, I love these blues and country elements. It is just incredible sounding, dangerous record. Really, there is a danger to it on a different way than From Her to Eternity. But Knocking on Joe, incredible song. Then you get Wanted Man, which is a Bob Dylan cover. I believe also some of the lyrics were written by Johnny Cash, and he's been altering lyrics. I prefer this version. I prefer this version because Cave sounds as if he's surrounded by inmates. You know, he's about as dangerous as Johnny Cash can sound. Um, Blind Lemon Jefferson, another one of those great, great songs, and that's what I love about this album. Here, for me, Nick Cave starts to build on the mysticism, the mythical element of himself, the mysticism. Is that a good English word? Word? Correct me if I'm wrong, but the mysticism, I'm going to use it nevertheless. The mysticism of himself through the stories he tells. As if, as an audience, you're wondering, how come this man knows so much about these guys? And that's what I love. It's dangerous. Even just the title, "The Firstborn," is dead. And when you look at this photograph, it's just incredible. Now, this record was recorded in Berlin in the Hansa studios, as I just mentioned. And Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds said about that they needed that step to go out of London and go to a place like Berlin, where they were not a gimmick band but serious messengers, where they could get a lot more freedom. And though I love From Her to Eternity, I'm gonna play this one more often. It has so much to say, and they are indeed, though less experimental, it sounds as if they are freer songwriters, mostly freer in not being afraid when a song can be pleasing, yet contains all the essence they want to put in there. I love this album. Firstborn is that is a masterpiece. I'm gonna say that. Yeah, it's awesome. So that's my second review in the series with Nick Cave and Bad Seeds. I'm curious, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.